I mean,
You just don't quit.
you know there's going to be multiple. So
Let's write out the top 3 things that we have issues with communicating with people that we know are customers, right? We know that we can help them. But it just, they're not willing to let us.
So like objections and stuff like that from people?
Yeah, what are the things you're hearing?
As in objections? Like it costs too much or?
Yeah,
Like the top 3 conflicts that
conflicts.
hinder what
'Cause
we,
it's-
like our relationship
Yeah,
with
like
them.
what in your head, like, that you think is what's coming up, the conflict that you feel like they're not, it's something that is a limiting belief for them that is stopping you from being able to get the business. 'Cause at the end of the day, the branding, the marketing, it makes what that is. Remember, brand, the belief consumers have in you to solve a problem.
Right.
That's, we could call that trust.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Trust
right?
be the main thing.
That's going to make it easier for an individual that you trust to talk at you. Because remember we talked about the 3 brains, the instincts, the emotion, and the logic?
Right.
When you already trust them, you've already made a logical decision that they're the authority. All right, doctor, I will, yep, okay. Makes sense? So when you are branding yourself properly, brand, belief consumers have in you to solve a problem. Marketing, putting yourself out where the attention is, that's marketing. Where's the consumer? Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, right?
Yeah.
It's not selling them, but storytelling to them so they believe in you. But this is the unfortunality to all that. You could do that amazingly, and then people still meet with you, and what happened? We didn't do anything. Correct?
Right.
So we're going to talk about that because we spent all day talking about what? The other stuff. So if I leave here today with you guys, we didn't talk about that. We're only halfway there. It's like half pregnant. Is that it? Ain't no baby.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, that's a good one, right? Half pregnant, half business, ain't no business.
Your half Christianity line last night.
Fuck yeah, what did I say about that?
It was something like you can't be half in. Like if Jesus was half in, we would never have Christianity.
Oh
or
yeah.
something.
That was kind of like, I said, I was
Somebody
like,
video that.
if Jesus
What?
gave you half of the story when you met him, 12 guys wouldn't have followed him.
Right.
You feel me?
Almost have it 6.
And Denny's.
Yes, we would have had
Denny's.
We would have 5 guys burgers.
Right.
Denny's got deep last night.
There's the.
Uh,
So my point, we're going to talk about the conflicts, and we're going to work on, hey, how do we become better at overcoming them? An example, your future husband you talked about that was talking to you on the phone, that was how
Oh,
you're
yeah.
manhandling him.
Oh.
That's definitely your future husband.
Oh my God.
No, it's like that conversation. How could that have went pristinely in any situation?
If you could behave like an adult.
And how we and how based on what he said to us, whether it's positive or a negative energy, we can either box with that
Right.
or play or Tai Chi.
Right. Dodge it.
Meaning, take it, absorb it, and bring back positive.
Right.
Create an equilibrium. That's in essence, if you want to label that as sales, go ahead. But if I call my wife ugly enough, I won't want to be with her.
She ain't gonna want to be with you either.
Exactly. So we ain't gonna call that sales. We're gonna call it authentically communicating.
Right.
So what are some of the conflicts?
Well, trust. You gotta put trust up there. Gotcha. I mean, I think in this guy with the small companies, like if he didn't trust you because of before what he was dealing with before, he was no way in hell gonna trust you, like at all.
What's another? Let's think.
I don't know the buzzword, but the biggest conflict I'm having, because I have 1,000 followers of friends and followers on Facebook that are people I know. And every time someone buys a house and it's posted on Facebook, it's not with me. My first thought is, well, why did they do it? And I reach out to them. I say, hey, I just saw you closed on a house. How do you know your realtor? And it's through kickball, through their CrossFit group, through their church, through, they've met them and they're in-person relationships with them. So I don't know how to do that. I'm like, I'm
Write that out.
on the computer and I'm in front of them social media wise, but I don't do yoga. I don't do CrossFit. I don't do, I don't have a gym membership where I'm there 3 days a week interacting in
So wait,
person.
okay, so transferring the attention to the meeting.
Right.
That's something we can talk about, actually,
Yeah,
correct?
that's huge.
Is that big or what?
Yeah.
Example. How did I make, literally, some of my best friends in Philadelphia I met, they were for sale by owners.
Right.
Or expired listings.
Mm-hmm.
How did I meet him? Hey, I'm looking for Bob Miller.
Yeah.
Bob Miller, this is Jay Doran. Reason for the call, your home popped up and expired. I was just calling. Are you curious to interview an agent that wasn't lazy and just sent in for a commission?
Right.
He's like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
No, that's a great question. I'm doing this because I find most homes don't sell the first time. It's crazy, I don't know. If you sold the house, where were you going next?
Right.
How soon you have to be there? What do you think stopped your home selling? How did you happen to pick the last agent that you listed with? What do you expect for the next agent you choose? Have you chosen an agent already again? Because it sounds like you needed to go to Hawaii.
Right.
You can do that on the phone. You can do that on the internet. And what's that going to do? We're going to transfer. So, for example, whatever conversation I had with him that flowed that way, and we're going to break down how to do that. So you can practice.
Mm-hmm.
We can break that up into a message on Messenger, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We'll make that even better. Video message
Yeah.
on Messenger.
I have a client right now. As a loan officer, I'm going to break down, we just did this actually for you, a step-by-step process. All right, so I'm going to give you, here, let's give you the, for example, the first thing, she's going to add, she wants to meet you. She's going to add the agent she wants to meet. Now, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, what do you think she's going to do?
She's gonna troll my Facebook page.
And then what? Well, she qualifies them first, adds them, and then yes. So it's like 0.5 would be like, troll some, first, troll some more, Then what do you think she's gonna do?
Reach out.
Reach out. No?
I'll give you, ready? Ninja stuff.
Tai Chi,
If she really tunes out, it's like, yo, what's in it for me, bro? However, what if she,
likes and comments.
ooh,
Yeah.
sweet,
What?
Yes, I came back.
like, comment. Oh my God, it's like she's being a human and stuff.
Engaging.
What did you say? Humanizing social media? I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about the guy who hated your Facebook post and then he loves you now.
Sunshine and flowers,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yes. So there's a lot of those. Why? The opposite of what I know is also true. Hey, I appreciate you for taking the time to even comment because that helps me grow. And I have, this is me authentically giving. Like I said, here I am and I appreciate you. That's it. Thank you. I will grow from that.
Mm.
Why? Because this is truth. There's a lot of people out there doing what you do and what I do and always. Mm-hmm. And based on their cultural alignment, like who they are and their character and how they run their business, it'll be positive or negative, right?
Right.
So everybody's living through the experience of the last person. Why would I combat with them? I'm going to make an enemy. Mm-hmm. Negative and negative is more negative. Mm-hmm. Right? Negative, like, dude, I got kicked out of high school. Here we go. Algebra. Yeah, I taught myself. -4 + 8 is +4, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you raise your hand in math class. Why do we need to learn this? Shut up and study. You need to learn this because when someone says something negative to you and you say negative back in math, if you paid attention,
Still negative.
conversations become arguments. Fool.
Right.
Well, we probably use math a lot more if we learned in school that it was actually the expression of energy consciousness, and it's all about communication. You could actually sell anyone on any idea if you understood the algebra of communication. Mm-hmm. You ever heard that shit before?
There's a new book.
Oh yeah, dude, I got him. I'm serious. Like this is like real. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do we call it? Positive. When they say something.
Communication, but the positive bounce back.
Positive bounce back. Give him an example. So let's put some. Before we get into that, right? Let's put some context. Who the hell is this guy? How did we meet? Stand up, tell him.
Come on,
You guys say a round
Hey
of
there,
applause.
guys, gals.
How do we meet?
Well, I want to really want to get to that positive bounce back. That's such a good,
Yeah.
such a good.
And then tell us how it
concept. And
met.
then tell them, okay, positive bounce back. It's pretty much I'm calling agents all day, every day while I'm at work, trying to get them in for interviews and have them, pretty much do business with LOs that are in the office.
Loan
And-
officers.
Yeah, loan officers, right. And a primary rejection I was getting in the beginning was, well, I'm driving. Yeah, this is a deadly situation. Can you call me back? And at first it was just like, no, I completely understand. Look, I'm sorry. It was just like, I don't want to mess you up. And then,
So wait, pause.
yeah.
They gave negative, which we know. Listen, the average person kills each other texting, right? So we know that's just, I don't know who the hell you are, I don't trust you, go away.
Right.
Okay? So negative and negative is more negative. He's like, all right, bye. Lost opportunity.
Yeah.
What,
Sorry.
what did we talk about then?
So he's kind of like, you know what? I really appreciate the fact that you don't talk and drive while you're driving, and I wouldn't want to be the cause of that. And then kind of go on to the next question, and then bring them in.
Positive bounce back
yeah.
is, hey, I meet you where you are, man. We're in a form of agreement here. That makes a lot of sense. And listen, not to cause a safety hazard, we can talk later. And then you ask the question that you need to know if you're wasting your time or not.
Right.
If everything in your social media was exactly where it needed to be, is that what it looks like today? If he goes, yes, all right, be safe. But it's not, because he's calling agents to invite them into a mortgage company so he can give them value, get them branding like
Branding
we talk about, for free,
Right.
to create a relationship between the loan officers and the agents. So we know that all the agents want that, right? But they're not going to meet with them because they don't know him, like him, or trust him. Unless he believes he's authentically communicating value by asking the questions necessary to potentially solve their problem. We would call that sales, but there's nothing to sell when they've bought, I want to meet with this person, they're going to help.
Right.
And what did we do to get so good at the questions that we needed to ask?
Well, we use the the algebraic expression as far as people start at. You got to figure out where people are starting at. Where are they when they pick up the phone? Are they positive? That's a beautiful thing. If they're already positive, you're on a good note already. If they're at this neutral zone, that's kind of where the average sale is, where you're kind of want to push them to the positive. They might come off with a small negative, -1, -2, very small, and then you just want to kind of tug a war back to +1, +2. And then when they start off with -7, -10, that's those harder objections, but then that's just more inside of you to you have to try much more to bring them back to the positive
Which
side.
we do through empathy.
They're my favorite.
Body language influencing tonality, which is unconscious based on your current cultural state.
Right.
He believes what the hell I'm talking about. He's seen it to believe it. I'm going to make a friend a lot sooner on the telephone than some deal. Because you're a human. I'm going to meet you.
Yeah.
Now, why did I go off track for this? Because it ties into what we were going to do here. You're adding them, you're liking and commenting because it's already making it easier for them to know who you are.
Yeah.
And then when you send the message, gave up. Yeah. When you send the message, let's think, how are we going to send it?
Yeah.
Right?
Message.
The context of how we're going to send it. It's not, what can I do to take? It's what can I do to give? And then what do you think happens if, what's the point of the message? What's easier, to get on the phone with someone or to go meet them when they haven't met you?
Dial them up.
So the less, meaning, if energy is consciousness and consciousness is energy, and their belief is what's really going to get them to meet with you, meaning your thoughts become what you're going to do. Well, it's less risky to pick up the phone for a second than go drive 20 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
Meaning, if they're already a negative belief of whatever you're about, it's less likely to go meet with you. Maybe you can get on the phone.
Right.
Does that make sense? So are we going to message to meet or message to something easier? And what would that be? What could it be? We have the internet.
Oh, texting. There's
Well,
Get their number to text. What else?
Video
Zoom, all
call.
kinds of things.
Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Skype, video.
Yeah, so 5 would be some kind of,
Shoot, you don't even need phone numbers anymore. I call directly
yeah,
to
you don't,
Facebook.
you could do, so you understand? Easy, easy, easy. Now, what's the point of that then? What's the next step? What comes after that?
Connecting with them.
In person.
Yeah.
Now, when we're in person with them,
Skype, messenger, text.
right,
call.
put in
Use
person.
Person?
Yeah, in person now. So then we're in person with them. Let's say, have we all had a negative experience with some kind of person that was supposed to help us? That's a stupid question. It's like, duh. All right, so that's a 100% chance that we have, and we meet with somebody, and we're this far, but we still don't know if they can solve our problem. And the person meeting with us that reached out to us spends 90% of the time telling us what they do and how it'll benefit us. But we have a already limiting belief based on our negative, I call it a matrix, the perception of our reality. We have a negative M, a negative matrix, and they're talking 90% of the time, or even 60, like most of the time. Where is the person we're meeting with if we're talking at them? Are they more likely to work with us or less likely?
Right.
So 7 is, 6, we don't have room. This is all gold. It's because I can't write over here. Yeah, 6 is what? What would you label that?
Listening. And
Listen, understand,
learning
not to reply. Right?
Listening and
The R in Culture Matters, the R stands for reserved.
Putting it out there.
Yeah, you know them. Listen, understand, not to reply. Why did I have to say that every day for 2 years? Because I didn't talk too fucking much and not listen to anybody. Seriously. But if we meet for the first time, I've conditioned myself to
listen.
you gotta give me permission to talk. And if I spent all day telling you all these facts, it wouldn't have mattered, because just as how the brain works. Unless, someone you truly admire for many years comes in, you're just gonna, you're already in alignment with them. Now, we're listening. What do you think 7 is?
probably listen more.
Like for example, what needs to happen for their limiting belief or whatever it is? Because they're not. If they would have already bought, they would have called you and just gave you money because they know you can solve the problem. And that does happen, right? I mean, it does. But we're not talking about that because we got to build our business off of creating new relationships. Those people already have those relationships. But with this, you think you can create some? They're heading to the soccer game, but you message them, they head to you.
Right.
So what do you think 7 is? Anybody want to guess? We've gathered our information. We talked about it earlier. Curriculum and what? Well,
Yeah, I don't remember.
how to educate. There's a lot of stuff. That's why this was videotaped. A lot of stuff. My brain hurts. It's like Chipotle eating too many burritos. Curriculum is the logic. Pedagogy is the it's the how and the when.
Walk them down the path, but you're not quite at the commitment yet.
So it starts with an S is the word. What do you tell?